Hello friends, let's balance one more net ionic equation. This equation is for the redox reaction of dichromate ion with sulfur dioxide to form chromium ion and sulfur dioxide. This reaction takes place in acidic medium. We can balance this equation by ion-electron method. First of all, in this equation, the changes, what are the changes taking place that we can identify, that was written here, that is two changes are taking place. The first one is this dichromate becomes chromium ion. Another change is the sulfur dioxide becomes sulfate ion. Sulfur dioxide becomes sulfate ion. That's another change. Now in this change you can notice that dichromate becomes chromium ion. Dichromate becomes chromium ion. Here what's the change? We can notice that the oxygen atoms are lost. Loss of oxygen takes place. So the conversion of dichromate to chromium ion is reduction. This is reduction reaction. Reduction. So the another change will be, this change is oxidation. This change is oxidation, this is reduction. In oxidation, loss of electron takes place, reduction, gain of electron takes place. While we are balancing, we need to make use of that principle. Now let's balance the reduction of reaction. This reduction of reaction, first we can balance this equation. The left hand side in dichromate ion has two chromium atoms, but the right hand side only one chromium atom is there. Therefore this we need to multiply by 2 times. Now the left hand side in dichromate 7 oxygen atoms are there, but the right hand side there's no 7 oxygen atoms are there in dichromate, but the right hand side there's no oxygen atom. Therefore we need to add 7 moles of water. So when we add 7 moles of water, now the right hand side 7 times 2, 14 hydrogen atoms are there, but the left hand side there's no hydrogen atoms. Therefore here we need to add hydrogen ions. These 14 hydrogen atoms we need to write as 14 hydrogen ions on the left hand side. So here we are adding 14 hydrogen ions. Now we can check the charges of the reduction of reaction. When we check the charges, here it is plus 14. Dichromate, it has 2 negative charge. Gives chromium ion has 3 positive charge and it has a coefficient 2. So the total charge is plus 6. 2 times 3 plus 6. Water is a neutral compound, the charge is 0. So the right hand side, the total charge is plus 6. But the left hand side, the total charge is plus 14 minus 2. What's that? Plus 12. So in order to make the charges equal, both the side it has to be plus 6. Another thing, this reduction of reaction. In the reduction of reaction, gain of electron takes place. Therefore, the electrons, gain of electron needs to be mentioned on the left hand side of the equation. So here we need to write the electrons. The electrons carry negative charge. So how many negative charge we need in order to balance the charges? 6 negative charges are required. 6 negative charges are required, minus 6. Then only the charges will be equal on both the sides. So as a result, we are adding 6 electrons to the left hand side of the reduction of reaction. Now the reduction of reaction is balanced. This reduction of reaction is balanced now. Now we need to balance the oxidation of reaction. That is the conversion of sulfur dioxide to sulfate ion. In sulfate ion, 4 oxygen atoms are present, but in sulfur dioxide only 2 oxygen atoms are there. Therefore, on the left hand side we need to add 2 moles of water molecules in order to balance the oxygen atoms. So 2 moles of water has to be added on the left hand side in order to balance oxygen atoms. Now left hand side 2 times 2, 4 hydrogen atoms, but the right hand side there is no hydrogen atoms. So here we need to write 4 hydrogen ions in order to balance the hydrogen atoms on the left hand side. So 4 hydrogen ions are added on the right hand side. 4 hydrogen ions. Now we can check the charges. When we check the charges, 2 moles of this water and sulfur dioxide both are neutral compound, therefore no charge. No charge, so the charge will be 0. The right hand side, sulfate, it has 1 negative charge, 2 negative charge. Hydrogen ion has 1 positive charge, but it has 4 coefficient. So 4 times 1 plus, that is 4 plus. So the right hand side 4 plus and minus 2. That is minus 2 plus 4. So the result on the right hand side it will be, what's that? The total charge will be plus 2. But this reaction, what is that? Is an oxidation reaction. This oxidation reaction is loss of electron takes place. The loss of electron needs to be mentioned on the right hand side of the equation. Now when we check the charges, left hand side 0, the total charge is 0, but the right hand side the total charge is plus 2. So in order to make it 0, we need to add minus 2 to the right hand side. Then only the charges will become 0 on the right hand side. So a minus 2 charges are required in order to make the charges equal. This minus 2 refers to 2 electrons. So we are adding 2 electrons on the right hand side of the oxidation of reaction. Now the oxidation of reaction is balanced. But when we check the number of electrons lost and the number of electrons gained, they are not equal. Here 6 electrons are gained, but here 2 electrons are lost. But as per the rule, both the loss of electrons and gain of electrons in a redox reaction must be equal. So in order to make it equal, what we can do, this oxidation of reaction needs to be multiplied by by 3 times. Then only this 3 times 2 electron, it will become 6 electrons. In both the equation, the number of electrons will become equal. So the oxidation of reaction needs to be multiplied by 3. Then after that, both the off reactions we need to add together. That we can do it at the next page. Now the reduction of reaction is written here. This is the reduction of reaction. That is what we have got at the previous page. This redox reaction only we have written here. And this oxidation of reaction is multiplied by 3. 3 times water, 6. 6 moles of water, 3 sulfur dioxide, 3 sulfate, 12 hydrogen ion and 6 electron. That only we have got here. So now these two equations we need to add together. These two equations are added together. So while we are adding the equations, the same substance on the opposite sides need to be cancelled. The cancelling is done by subtracting the substances. Now we can cancel now. Which substances are present on the same substances? Here hydrogen ions are on the right hand side of this reaction, this equation. And here the hydrogen ions are present on the left hand side of this equation. They are at opposite side. Similarly, electrons are present on the left hand side of this equation. Here electrons are present on the right hand side. So hydrogen ions and electrons need to be cancelled because these two are present on the opposite sides of these equations. Now electrons, here 6 electrons are here. This 6 electrons will be cancelled. In the case of hydrogen ions, here 12 hydrogen ions, but here 14 hydrogen ions. So what we need to do, we need to subtract 14 hydrogen minus 12 hydrogen. So what will be the result? 2 hydrogen. So this 14 hydrogen will become 2 hydrogen ions. This 12 hydrogen will be completely cancelled. Any other substance present on the same substance on the opposite side? Any other substance? No. So remaining substances left out on the reactant side, we need to add together. Remaining substances left out on the reactant side, we need to add together, and remaining substances left out on the product side, we need to add together. So accordingly, what's that? Now here which substance? In the first equation, 1 mole of dichromate ions and 2 moles of hydrogen ions are left out, and one more substance also, same substance present on the equations on the opposite side. Here water molecule on the left hand side of the equation, here also water molecule on the right hand side of the equation. Here it is 7 times, this is 6 times. So 7 minus 6, what will be that? This will become 1 mole of water. This 6 moles of water will be completely cancelled. So remaining substances left out in the reactant sides are 1 mole of dichromate ion, that is written here. Next, what? 3 moles of sulfur dioxide. So that we need to write 3 moles of sulfur dioxide. Then what else is left out? 2 moles of hydrogen ions, that we need to add here 2 moles of hydrogen ions. And the right hand side, what else is left out? 1 mole of water, 2 moles of chromium ion and 3 moles of sulfate ion. That we can write it here, that is 2 moles of chromium ion, 3 moles of sulfate ion and 1 mole of water. 1 mole of water. Now the equation is balance. The balance equation is 2 moles of hydrogen ions plus 1 mole of dichromate ions plus 3 moles of sulfur dioxide gives 2 moles of chromium ions and plus 3 moles of sulfate ions and 1 mole of water. Thank you so much for watching.